leather gloves, we're slapping in hands. Popcorn and peanuts, we're working the stands. Pink cotton candy, love on a stick, was chasing the beer that circle the lips. Play ball, play ball. Load up the bases and smack it right over the wall.
Play ball.
Play ball.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Laughter Saves Live. Live here on Strong Island Television, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and from my basement here in Belmore, Long Island, next to my Greek neighbors. With me tonight from Massapequa, my buddy, biggest Met fan, pilot, impressionist, John Santo. Always great to have the boys on. We have our regular core, which we haven't been together in a while, but
a long time.
Keep in touch. We keep in touch through the text messages and stuff. So good day today. I'm exercising almost every day, John. I find that during the this time I've been keeping sane by trying to exercise and run, and I do my weights, and I go to Eisenhower Park. And you know what? And you know, big debate about the masks. I'm a big component on. Somebody sent me a list of all the healthcare professionals that died during the corona. It wasn't a complete list. And wow, when you start reading the list, you go, oh my God, I got a page down. Wear the mask, people. Wear the mask. If you're going in a store, please wear the mask. It's not for you. It's for them. It's for him. It's for John. It's for me. It's for Bobby. Wear the mask. Hey, I went this morning in Eisenhower Park. Nobody's near me. I'm working out. Somebody comes close. I always got it in my pocket. Because sometimes somebody will see me and go, oh my God, that's John Larocchia. I love him. That happens once a day, once a week. It happened once in my life. So I have the mask with me just in case. I had the Vincent with me, so we went jogging and all of that.
Can I tell you something about the mask? With the question I got about the mask?
Yes.
I was in my car, and a guy pulled up to the light next to me, and he goes, "Why are you wearing a mask if you're in the car by yourself?"
What's his business?
Right. First of all, what's his business? Second of all, you know why? I was delivering groceries to my mother. I didn't want to breathe all over the groceries. I don't have a trunk. It's an open car.
It's not his business.
Right. But the people don't think it's a you got to think big picture here, you know, and you got to think of different variables.
When I teach hazmat, because you know how I'm a very bright guy.
You are the best hazmat person in the country. And
don't say that, because if any of my buddies are watching, they'll be laughing. But the reason I say I'm a very bright guy is because I have to say it, because when people look at me, they go, he's an idiot. So I got to say he's a very bright guy. But when I teach the guys at hazmat and they give me the correct answer, I don't stop there. I go, why?
Why?
Why are you holding the meter up here? Why did you mix that? Why? Because if they don't understand the why, they're going to make a mistake sooner or later on something else. So they say, why are you wearing the mask? Why? Why are you not wearing it? Well, I'm out in public. Nobody's around. Oh, good. That's it. That's understanding the whole concept. So I don't want to dwell on that.
No, but that's a good thing. That lesson is good for a lot of things in life. Why?
Yeah, why?
Why are we doing it this way? Why are we doing that?
And an answer is not because John Santo told me to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
I'll ask them and they go, oh, because I saw Joe do it that way. That's scary. That's not an answer. Tell me why. What's the logic? Oh, my phone's going here. So tonight we have on Julie Conboy Russo Rodriguez, Chinchilla the Third. I always say, when somebody has to say, I just add another.
That's not a name.
Yeah, no, it is. You throw a few names. But she's an old friend of ours. Not that she's old. She's an old friend of ours, though.
Which is more than a year. She's been a friend more than a year.
More than a year. She's a registered nurse. She's working in a long-term care facility. In my eyes, hero. Anybody who's working in those facilities, taking care of our elderly. She's a nurse educator, a nurse. See, Pat would have made fun of me already. A nurse educator, an infection prevention consultant. So she'll be on. Last minute, I snuck in Michelle McDonald because she's in a Maximum CoverGirl commercial. And I said, let's give her a little plug. This way, maybe she'll get some more votes. So she's going to do a quickie. And then we got Carlo on from Animal House Radio. Carlo Bellario. How do you say Carlo's last name? Carlo
Bellario.
Bellario.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
On Animal House Radio. They got a popular show there in Jersey. Good friends of ours. Carlo asked John and I, after seeing our live thing we did on Friday with comics writing jokes with civilians, with fans, and he saw what Big Met fans, I mean, I think he knew that already. He's interviewing tomorrow Tim Tebow, and he asked us to sit in on the Zoom interview and ask some questions. So John and I are going to try not to make an ass of ourselves.
Which is easy.
What? That's a big thing. And then we'll try to get him on Laughter Saves Lives Live. We'll try to get Tebow on. How do I do that during somebody else's interview? What's the nice one? Hey, Tim, nice to meet you. I'd like to ask you a question. Laughter Saves Lives. What was that? Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, we just have a show, Laughter Saves Lives. We were looking for football players playing baseball now to be on the show. You know anybody? I don't know.
No, I know him. I've seen him in 2 uniforms in person. I've seen him at a Jet game, and I've seen him at Med Spring Training with you.
Yep, and I have to tell you, which I will bring up to him tomorrow, there were 2 guys that I noticed at Met Spring Training that went above and beyond with the fans.
And he was one of them.
The backup first baseman on the Mets.
Dom Smith,
and Tim Tebow.
We got his autograph and pictures with him. Your son and I got him.
Everybody wanted a slice of Tim, and he was nice enough. Even during the work, my back dropped.
And Michael Conforto, Steve Netta, who was on our show, said Conforto stayed for like a half hour and signed people's things.
Oh, it was nice. But these guys did it during the practice session.
Yeah.
From field to field, which they not really have to do. You know,
no.
I don't think that's appropriate that people approach it in.
Yeah,
but that was fun.
And Nimmo's always good with the autographs. I've gotten his a couple of times.
Well, it's nice to talk about baseball and not talk about the virus. That's why I didn't want to get crazy about the masks and everything. And so we're going to have a Laughter Saves Lives is holding a forum on Thursday with comedy bookers from Long Island. And the question is going to be, when we do our first show, private show, not a comedy club show,
right?
What are we going to do to make the audience and the comics feel safe? That is the topic. And I have Rick Morgan, John Butera, Rich Walker.
Wow.
I have Tom DeDario coming on as a headline comic. And we're going to have another few bookers. I was thinking about doing it live on Facebook, and then I changed my mind, I think, because I think it'll get too kooky with a lot of comics making I want to come out of it with like a bunch of points, and then we could send it out to the clients.
Yeah.
And to some comics and get their input, not impact.
Yep.
So
input.
That'll be good. And we enjoyed doing the comics live writing jokes the other night.
It was fun.
John Clark is the second time he was on. He was on 2 weeks ago. He is still in a hotel in Brooklyn, working in a hospital in Manhattan, so he has nothing else to do. So he figured, well, I'll join these guys on board. So that was nice of John to come on. We also, guys. Oh, Fire News. We are teaming up with the Fire News moving forward. Very nice announcement.
Really?
Yeah, they're going to be doing an article on us, and they're going to be working with us on different shows. But we're trying to help our friends at Fire News. If you know of any firefighters or EMS members that have passed during the COVID-19, reach out to them. Email tim@firenews.com. tim@firenews.com. They're going to do something really nice in the paper to honor our heroes. So that's kind of nice to be teaming up with them. What do you think?
I think that's awesome.
Yeah, the Fire News. But Laughter Saves Lives. June 5th, we're going back to the food pantry. We're going back to help feed people. She was on last week, Dana. She was very sweet to us. I want to come back now with two carloads. But what I want to really concentrate on is babies this time.
The what? Babies?
Babies. I want to bring her some babies. No. I want to bring food. I want to bring
baby food.
Yeah. So she said what they can use is diaper sizes 3 to 6. I'm assuming that's 3 to 6 months, and pull-ups sizes 2T to 5T, and also some baby wipes, baby food, the formula. So we're really going to concentrate on that through Facebook over the next 2 weeks. We'll bring anything, but I really want to try to get some baby stuff. So that's with Dana over there at the food pantry, the Inn in Hempstead. Molly something food pantry. I should know the last name, but Molly Brennan, I think it was. Molly Brennan. That sounds pretty cool, right?
That sounds awesome.
Are there any comments on Facebook you'd like to bring up?
I'm just going through them now.
All right.
Somebody said, "Oh my God, John figured out green screen." That was from Edward
let me give
Tate.
Where credit is due. Let me give credit where credit is due. This was a collaboration to make this happen behind me. Pat Marone, Jim DeLagas, Tom DeDario, and Famous Visions, Jonathan. And I think the background is looking pretty sharp right now. My desk is in an unusual place, so that's the only problem, this area here, but I put the fire truck there. Right? Can
you send me that back? Yours is better than mine.
Yes, John from Famous. It is because you could sit in between.
You could see it better. Yes, it's better.
That's the idea.
Jonathan, I took mine off your website. I did it myself, but that's better.
Yeah, Jonathan did this from Famous Visions. I will send it to you after the show.
Thank you.
Very nice job that he did there. So what else do we have going on here before we bring out our first guest or do our first commercial? Bobby, you let me know when she is in the waiting room.
I sure will.
All right. What do you think about the sports this week? Did you watch any of the NASCAR?
I watched a little bit of it.
I watched.
It's fun.
I watched one around, and that was it. It was exciting. Go right. That was it. Watched a little bit of that. I didn't watch the golf. I'm not really a golf fan, but I think that would have been interesting to watch the two football players and you can the banter. I think they had them mic'd, so that would be pretty good.
They're talking about miking baseball to make it more
interesting,
interactive without the fans in the crowd. If they do a season, they're talking about miking up more people. I don't know.
Don't they got to be on a delay then?
I don't know. Oh, I guess because they could have language.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I don't know. I mean, I think it's kind of interesting. I always like when they're mic'd up. You see and hear things that you don't normally see and hear. And you know what? If football has an empty stadium and baseball does too, you're going to hear, even if the regular audio is in use, I think we're going to hear things that we never heard before.
True. I don't know. I don't know why they're not bringing some people into the stadiums. Few people spread out 100 feet. I mean,
right.
Some people that have been fans for years, that big bucks, just spread them out throughout the stadium. It's a few hundred people, wearing masks. I mean, safe. Hey, listen, I'm a big proponent of this. Go back to work. But do it safely.
Safely, yeah.
So I don't want a full stadium, but it would be nice to have a few fans in there. But the main thing is, for the country, psychologically, let's get a little sports going.
Yep.
We
need it.
Yeah. The big guy came back from the Poconos. Giovanni Larocchia returned after 2 months up in the woods, isolated. He has a beard down to here. He lost 40 pounds. He was living off twigs and berries in the woods with the deer up there and the bears. So Giovanni is back.
He's back.
Back in Queens. I don't know if you saw my picture, but I was at, shout out to Carlo's Pizzeria in Middle Village. He's been there 44 years. I went and stopped at Carlo's. I coached the owner in basketball. He was on my team as a kid.
Oh, wow.
So when I walked in, I always get the, "Hey, Johnny!" It's so nice. But you know what I'm saying? You go back to Middle Village. I haven't been there in years. It's so nice. You walk into the place. They go, "Hey, Johnny, how you doing?" So we grabbed some chicken cutlet palm, meatball palm.
Oh.
We went down to Juniper Valley Park, where I used to hit many a home run. Singles. We went down there and had the lunch on the bench.
Do you know I'm always nice to my when I coached Little League, I'm always nice to the kids because my coach screamed at me for something very minor when I was a kid. It's about 8, 9 years old. Screamed at me in front of everybody. And then fast forward 15, years when I'm in the fire department. He has a heart attack. I'm his medic.
Oh,
So
wow.
all of my little leaguers are potential future first responders in
Sure.
my fire department. I want them to know me as the coach that gave them gum, that loved them, so they'll work extra hard on me, to make sure that
That's a nice
I survive.
reason. That's a good reason to be nice. I thought you were going to be nice just to be nice, but you want
Well,
to
I
make.
am too, but I'm also there's a second reason, and that's you never know.
Did I ever tell you the story about when I was teaching at the FDNY and we had 24 firefighters? And you know what? We'll talk about that later. But when I came on, we always used to say firemen. It's like old school,
No firefighter, the women.
firefighter now. But when I came on, it was firemen. And sometimes I'll slip, and I'll say it. And it's not because obviously, I truly believe in having females on a fire department. Absolutely. But it's just old school.
Old school. You gotta be careful.
Yes, I digress.
Yeah.
So, okay, so I'm teaching the class.
Yep.
Mostly firefighters, one EMS guy in the class. Big guy, heavy guy, And that was always the running joke that the EMS guys were heavier. They used to eat, and that was, running joke. And it was so I'm teaching resource material on a computer. And the EMS guy's in the back with a personal device, PDA, what were they called?
A PDA, personal data assistant.
Yeah, so it was a little
digital assistant. I don't even remember.
So I'm teaching the class, and the guys go, "Hey, John, why does the EMS guy have his own computer, and we got to share this, his laptop to look things up?" And I go, "Guys, that's not a computer." I said, "He has every menu in the city on there." Right? So, John Larocchia is funny. 2 days later, I suffer from a vertigo attack, and guess who shows up to take me to the hospital?
It's him. No way.
Standing over me, and he says, "Payback is a bitch." And he took me up to Harlem and left me in the hallway of some hospital. Big mouth.
That's what happens. Can I tell you a story similar to that?
Well, let's see if Julie's on yet.
Yes,
Julie,
actually, Julie is in the waiting room, so if you want to take a break and come back with Julie, we can do that.
Let's run our commercial. Let's get Julie on, and then maybe you can sneak in your story at one point. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
All right.
Hi, I'm Michael Barish, managing partner of Barish, McGarry, Salzman & Penson. We are honored to represent over 11,000 people in the 9/11 community. The people who work at my law firm can really relate to what the 9/11 community is going through because they're going through it too.
So my dad's name was Billy Gormley, and he was a fireman on 9/11.
My father also was a firefighter, and he did report down there as well on 9/11.
My dad, Alan, worked on the 104th floor of the second tower. He was an IT technician.
My father was a fire inspector.
My husband, his name is David Velez. He was a detective with the NYPD, and if I can help anybody that is going through exactly what I have gone through for the last 17, 18 years and make their life just a little bit better, then you know what? I love coming to work every single day.
This is a genuine office. Like, people are really sincere.
The best part of my job is the clients. Every once in a while you'll hear in their voice how grateful they are for the work that we do.
We take this personally, and we will not rest unless we help everybody we can before this victim compensation fund ends in 2 years. And we will be fighting to get this thing extended past 2020 because cancer isn't going to stop afflicting the 9/11 community.
And we're back with Laughter Saves Lives Live here in a beautiful basement, Belmore, New York, next to my Greek neighbors. It's a lovely, I have lovely Greek neighbors. I cut their front lawn the other day, by the way. That
was very nice.
I don't do it to, I do it because I want people to know I do good.
That's good.
No, that's not the reason.
You're gonna have stained glass. You're gonna be like a saint.
I cut their lawn, and then I put it on Facebook. I cut their lawn. No. You know what? I got Julie. How are you, Julie? I'm sorry.
I'm good. I'm good.
Conboy Russo Rodriguez Amelia the Fifth. Is here with us. I had a lawn guy the last few years, you know. But then when we weren't working, whatever, I said to my wife, I'm going to do it myself. And then she went, oh, this is going to be a disaster. Very therapeutic. Very therapeutic. I have my son's old lawnmower with the battery. Very therapeutic. But
you have a battery one?
He has the battery one, so the battery runs out in a minute and a half. So I have 48 batteries. 48 batteries that I use. And bloop, bloop, bloop. It's a workout.
They make a battery one. Mine just died after 18, 19 years. I'm going to buy the battery one now.
Let's let Julie talk here. Julie.
Yes. Let's let the guests talk.
Hello, Julie. Julie is a registered nurse working in a long-term care facility in Long Island. She's a nurse educator, infection prevention consultant, and a friend of Laughter Saves Lives.
That is correct. That is correct.
One of the nicest people you're ever going to meet. And knowing that this is the kind of people that are in these facilities is awesome. So, Julie, let me ask you right off the bat. Let's come out because John's not even paying attention right now. He's looking at No, I know.
I'm hearing you. I multitask.
You know, we've become very good interviewers.
Oh.
With the big questions.
Oh, that's good.
No. You've been through a very rough time here the last few months.
Correct.
Number one, please tell me things are getting better.
Things are getting better. You know, the governor talks about the curve, and we have pretty much flattened our curve, which is good. The month of March going into April was really a hard month.
I know.
It was a hard month in a very short period of time. I'm going to say in less than 30 days, we lost close to 40 residents. And that was
just the facility, Julie. How many people?
185 beds.
Wow. Now, did you lose those people? I don't want to get to politics because I think it snuck up on all of us. We didn't see it really coming. I mean, I didn't know about this virus. I heard something in China. All of a sudden, ba-boom.
We started to hear about it kind of like at the end of December.
Oh wow!
And we heard what was going on in China, and we just pretty much talked lightly about it, not really thinking it was going to do what it did. And everyone was talking, you know, it's another form of flu. We're going to treat it the same way as the flu. We're going to see the same signs and symptoms as the flu. But even though the flu kills every year, it wasn't affecting people like this was.
Right.
Because the flu, you can linger for a while. This was taking people relatively quickly. And that was the hardest thing, that you could come in, be talking to a resident today, and then tomorrow, totally different, totally different person. And the next thing you know, do they have a do not resuscitate order? Do they not? And you're starting CPR and it's going nowhere. And, you know, some made it to the hospital and many made it to the hospital, but didn't really survive. And then we've got our guard up. So we're assessing our residents a little bit more frequently. We're taking vital signs every shift, and we're noticing spikes in temperatures. And that's where we started to get more aggressive. But even as we were getting aggressive, the virus was just too much on too many people. That it didn't have as much of a positive outcome as we wanted. However, many people did come through it. And our staff was affected by it because they came down with the virus as well. And now you're furloughed for 14 days. It put a hardship on the facility to try to staff the facility. So it was a trying time.
It sounds like that's what a lot of facilities went through. So do you want if you want to ask a question, let me know, John. Give me like a little finger up something.
Okay.
What was I going to ask? Tell me something good that happened in the facility. Give me a story about somebody that works there, a resident. And I'm only saying this because we've heard a lot of the bad. You know, and it's not like we need to hear that stuff. We do. But it was just like me after 9/11 with comedy, when we started doing comedy and laughing. It made us feel better. Give us a story of something that you saw that was inspiring, good, you know. Give me something.
Well, you know, after a while, you grow fond of some of the residents there. And there was a short-term resident who wound up becoming long-term. And he was displaced off of the unit that he was on because we were making that our COVID floor. So he was moved to another unit. I walked in one morning and all of a sudden I heard a stat being announced to this particular floor. And just like a day prior, my director of nursing said, you know what, I don't like the way so-and-so looks. So we all race up to the floor and sure enough, who is it? It's so-and-so. This gentleman loves music, is really into the music. Part of his therapy is he recalls music of the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, big basketball fan. So, you know, I kind of struck a chord with him because we would talk sports all the time. And after Kobe Bryant passed away, he was like, what can I do? So we wrote a letter and we sent it to the Staples Center, hoping that Kobe's family would get it. We haven't gotten a response yet. But when I got to the room and saw that it was this gentleman who went down, I said, oh, no, we can't let him go. We cannot let him go. We got him back. We transferred him to the hospital. He came back a few days later. But he wound up writing me a beautiful card. And he said, you know what? I want to thank you for saving my life. And I don't think I would have did. I don't think I did anything anybody else wouldn't have done. But on my file cabinet in my office is the card that he wrote me.
Oh, wow.
And I look at it, and when I'm on the unit, I make a point to stop in and see him so that we can talk sports. And he will always say, you know, Julie, if it wasn't for you. And I said, if it wasn't for me, what? We'd still be having this conversation. And, you know, that's great story. That's the heartwarming stuff. Yeah. We also, you know, the staff really came together. And when it was difficult trying to find toilet paper, and it was difficult trying to find sanitizer, and when it was difficult to get Tylenol because all the Tylenol was wiped out of the facilities, I wound up having a conversation with one of the nursing assistants. And she said, Julie, do you need Tylenol? And I said, well, yeah, if you can find it, pick me up some. I would be thrilled to have some Tylenol. So one day she went shopping and I get a call from security saying, Julie, somebody's calling you. Nobody ever calls me at work. So I pick up the phone and it's the nursing assistant who says to me, Julie, it's so-and-so. And I said, yeah. She said, I got it. Meet me out in the parking lot. Like we were doing a drug deal in the parking lot.
It was a drug deal. It was a drug deal.
So
just over-the-counter drug.
Exactly. I had to distance myself from the car. The next thing you know, the bag comes flying out of her thing. She takes off. People, because there's cameras by security, they're like, what the heck is she doing in the parking lot? I walked in and I said, thank you very much for the call. Thank you. Everything worked out.
Good. You know what you should have said? You should have pulled up next to her in the cars and say, with one hand only, throw the stuff in here, and I'll throw the money back. You know,
I should have,
with
but
your
you know
left
what?
hand only.
Exactly. But when I went to go give her money, she pulled away because she wouldn't take the money from me.
Oh, she wouldn't take the money, right?
She wouldn't take the money. So when I saw her back at work, I said, you know, how do I repay her? She's, you know, you can't go anywhere. She's got 2 children and there's many ages between the 2 of them. And she said, I would just like to do something for my family when this is all over. So I wrote her a card. And in the card, I put not only the amount of money that she spent on my Tylenol, but I gave her enough money to be able to take her family out to dinner.
Oh, that was nice.
That's nice.
But you know what?
What can I do for you, Julie? What can I do for you?
You know, you've done enough for me.
No, I'm kidding. I'm like, what can I do for you to get some dinner money?
John, donate autographed John Larocchia autographed Tylenols. You got to sign each pill and give it to Julie.
That might work. But, one other funny story.
Before you tell me this story, I just want to say to you, I know you do a lot of good and what kind of person you are, and I try to do what I can do, and we don't, and your friend was doing the same thing with the Tylenol, and it's so funny how we want to, she did something good, we want to help them, but they do it because out of their heart, and it makes them feel good to do for others. And when somebody does for me, I have to remember that sometimes. Like, I don't have to do so. Not that you don't want to, because they got that feeling, of wow, I helped somebody.
It's a nice feeling.
It is.
It is a nice feeling.
It is.
Every day that I look at my Tylenol bottle, who am I thinking of? I'm thinking of her, because she didn't have to do that for me.
Right.
But the one thing that she said is, "We can't afford for you to get sick." And I said, wow. So it was nice to see staff taking care of staff.
Yes.
We take care of the residents, but the humanity that we were looking out for each other was really very important.
That's nice.
One more story.
Oh.
My office is in a dining room, believe it or not. And when the residents were when they were able to come out and be in the dining room, they would have their meals there and they would have recreational activities. And the first week that I was there, I heard this woman from the dining room, and she had very, very colorful language that I really can't say what she was saying here tonight.
Right.
But I said, oh my God, who the heck is that? I got to go out into the dining room and see her. So it was this woman who, I'll leave her nameless, but every word out of her mouth was F this, F this. She's an effing whore. She's an effing whore. She's a sea sucker. And I'm like, oh dear God, I don't use this language. So my ears are like ringing. And then she says, and it's that Julia. And I'm like, oh no.
Uh-oh.
Now I can't even approach her, because what's on my ID badge? I have a huge Julie. So I go over to her and I start to talk to her. And I have to tell you, if you just give her a little bit of time, she's a very funny person.
Yeah.
But she's got it fixed in her mind that somebody's out to get her.
Right.
So I come in one morning, and sure enough, there's a stat that's paged on the floor. And as I'm walking down the corridor, they're like, Julie, it's so-and-so. And now my heart drops, because as nasty and as wicked her language can be, she has a soft spot in my heart. So I go into her room, and sure enough, she's unresponsive. She's got agonal breathing. And I'm like, what's her status? Is she a DNR? Is she not a DNR? No, Julie, she's a full code. Well, sure enough, I hop on that bed, and I'm like yelling out her name, and I'm not getting a response. I've got my N95 on, and you can't identify anybody with your mask.
Yeah.
So I'm calling out her name, and I said, you can't tell who it is, but I'm that effing whore from the dining room. And all of a sudden, she opened up her eyes. She opened up her eyes. I pulled down my mask very, very quickly. She grabbed my hand, gave me a smile. And I said it was just a couple of thumps on the chest. And all of a sudden, I called her what she calls me.
Yeah.
And
she
woke up. And she woke up. Went to the hospital, came back the same night. Have no idea what happened to her. But she was treated, released, and she looks great today.
Oh, awesome. Well, listen, we have to wrap it up. What I think we need to do, since we're probably not going to any Met games this year, I would think, is we need to have a little tailgate in the backyard. If they start playing socially distanced, wear a mask, make the sausage and peppers. We'll be in my backyard. We can take a dip in the pool if we want. I think
we could do that.
Right? That would be a nice afternoon. So,
that would be swell.
Julie, thank you for taking the time.
Thank you, Julie.
Thank you for doing what you do. You're awesome.
Yes.
And the way you go about doing it, you're a good person.
We it's our calling, it's our nature. That's what we do.
Well, it's a pleasure to call you friend, my dear.
Thank you. The same is mutual. Miss both of you guys, and hopefully we will get together very soon.
I love it. All right, Julie.
Be well. Be safe.
Be well.
Julie Conboy Russo, Rodriguez, Amelia III. We're going to go to commercial break, and we'll be back, hopefully, with Carlo. Oh, no, with
Every once in a while, I come across a product I have to tell people about. LifeVac is one of them. Now, each year, 5,000 people choke to death. LifeVac can stop these senseless tragedies. It's so easy to use. You simply place, push, and pull. You'll never regret having a LifeVac. Please visit lifevac.net today to protect you and your loved ones.
Jack, put your phone away. We're having dinner.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Hi, how you doing? What can I get you?
You guys want appetizers?
For some reason, I just got a craving for smoked meat.
Well, you ordered something already. The menu hasn't changed. You looked at it 3 times.
I don't know what I want yet.
I wanted chicken, but I think it's blackened, so I'll just have a burger.
How'd you like that cooked?
Medium.
Do you have any specials? Specials? Boss, what are specials?
What's the matter? You don't know the specials?
Look at this smoke.
What smoke?
We gotta get these dumps clean.
Nah, they're fine.
You know what? We're just gonna take our order to go, okay?
In business since 2003, MCN duct cleaning is the result of many years of research and continuing education. Realizing the need to provide a safer and cleaner environment for families on Long Island, MCN services both residential and commercial properties by cleaning dryer vents, fireplaces, HVAC systems, and so much more. This not only improves air quality, but it could also reduce your energy bills by making things run more efficiently. So, if you want to make your house or business safer and cut down on your bills in the process, give our friend Matt over at MCN a call now.
Is that steak well done?
Maybe call a little bit sooner than these guys did.
We're back to Laughter Saves Lives live from Baltimore, New York, in my basement next to my Greek neighbors with Michelle McDonald.
What's with the Greek neighbors?
I like my Greek neighbors. They're good people with big pieces of feta cheese they give me.
Which one is the Greek neighbor? Which house?
The one next to the schoolyard. I was going to sit on my
over there.
I don't know which way I'm sitting down here. So
We got to play tennis over there because we're allowed to play tennis as long as we don't touch each other's balls.
Well, then what fun is it? Is what I say. You can't touch
We can kick each other's balls, but we can't touch each other's balls.
Now, Michelle is coming on tonight. It was a last-minute squeeze-in. We're squeezing Michelle in tonight because I saw her doing this. I said, let's support Michelle. So she was. She's voted. We want her to be voted maximum cover girl. She's running for maximum cover girl.
Not maximum, maximum.
Maxim. I'm sorry, maximum.
Not maximum.
We want the maximum amount of people to vote for her for maximum cover girl.
Yes.
Come back. They're going to come back.
That's it. You got it.
She's going to donate a portion of the proceeds that she wins, if she wins, which I know she's going to win, to Jared Allen's Home for Wounded Warriors. I said, how can we not have her on? How can we not have her on? And I always tell Michelle this, she's one of the most interesting people I know. When I look at her posts, are you a Southern girl?
I'm from the South Shore. I grew up on the South Shore of Long Island. That's as Southern as I get.
When I look at your backgrounds and stuff, do you try to have you seem like somebody from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, with your posts? Does that make any sense to you? Because I go there a lot. And the women they always dress nice. They're very classy, and you have this. Anyway, enough. So tell us about this contest.
Okay, so the contest is with Maxim Magazine. They have a lot of different groups, and what they're doing is they're allowing the people to vote for who they want to be the next cover model.
Michelle!
Now, yes.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
That's who we're voting for, Michelle.
Oh, thank you. So Maxim Magazine is generously giving everybody one complimentary vote per day, and then additional votes can be purchased, and the proceeds from that will be going to the official charity, which is the Jared Allen Home for Wounded Warriors.
Awesome.
Oh, wow.
Now, I think the minimum votes are 10, right?
Yes.
Basically, $10 is the minimum vote.
And where do we go to vote? Because I can hack the website and generate votes for you. Tell me I'll write some code now. Oh, we're live?
You can't.
I thought we were still in break.
You can't message her and tell her this.
I'll tell her that. Well, no, they'll pick it up. I thought we were on a secure line. Okay, sorry.
Tell them where to vote. Where can we vote?
I'm kidding. I don't know how to hack them.
I've shared the direct link to my Instagram pages. So there's a link in my bio on my Instagram, which is Michelle A. McDonald, or my brand, The Bohemian Beauty Queen.
So that's the Bohemian Beauty Queen. Tell us, where can we vote?
You're from Bohemia?
Yeah. Say it one more time.
Oh.
Where can we vote for you again?
Okay, so I have direct links where to vote in the bio on my social media pages on Instagram.
Okay.
So on The Bohemian Beauty Queen. And then my personal page as well, Michelle A. McDonald.
Bohemian Beauty Queen. What the heck is that all about?
She's from Bohemia.
No, I'm not. I grew up in Babylon, but I do live a bohemian lifestyle where it's very unconventional to most. I prioritize being creative and living and appreciating for the arts. And once upon a time, I competed in pageants, and I had the pleasure and privilege of representing the women of New York at the Miss America pageant. But I was very low maintenance out of the pageant girls, so I'd rather let my hair air dry, as you see right now.
Yes, me too.
Yeah.
So John and I used to model. We used to model men's socks over the radio.
Whose joke is that? That's got to be so old, right?
That's an old. Oh my God!
Look at her. She's doing all this stuff. It's not enough. She's doing stand-up comedy too. She can't leave us alone. She's got to take our work ultimately. You can't stand in the beauty side of the screen. Now let's take some jokes too out of the old chubby comics. Let me take some of their work. So how long you been doing stand-up?
I've been doing stand-up for a couple of years. I was really fortunate where I was cast in Chris Roach's parody video, Ron Konkamo.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Yes, we know it well.
And at the time, I had my handbook, my textbook for UCB, because I had just enrolled in the sketch and the improv programs that they have concurrently there. And they had asked me, John Truson asked why, when I did stand-up. And I was like, oh, I don't do stand-up. And they asked what my hesitation was. And it was just simply that I didn't know how. So just from being on set, having the conversation, receiving, the encouragement, I enrolled in comedy college at Governor's.
Very nice.
Cool. It's Chris's birthday. Make sure you guys
Chris's birthday.
wish Chris a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Chris. Thank you.
Michelle, just hold on 1 second because we did squeeze you in. I want to make sure. Is Carlo in the waiting room?
No, sir. Nope.
No. All right. We'll let Michelle.
We'll continue with Michelle.
Yes. So you grew up in Long Island.
I did.
And what did you grow up as this bohemian type person, or is this something that you fell in love with later?
Well, I've always had an appreciation for what Long Island is, and I think we're super lucky with I grew up on the South Shore, very coastal casual community, and we have the access to New York City at our fingertips. So we get the best of both worlds. But I've always been a little bit, or a whole lot of it, unconventional. So
no, you got to look at her site and stuff because it's very different. I grew up in Queens, and I live in Long Island. I'm listening to you speak about Long Island, and I'm like, what comes to my mind in Long Island? I know there's three really good pizzerias within 5 minutes. That's as deep as I go. She's into all this, and I'm like, well, I know there's what is it? Whatever. There's 3 good pizzerias around here. So it's a very different approach. But like I said, I like it. It's different. I like different. When I worked in Manhattan years ago, when I was a young lad, before I was a fireman, people think I'm still a fireman because of the shape I'm in. But we'll talk about that later. So I worked as, what the hell was I doing at the time? I was studying in college. I worked as a bartender, a bar back in a rib place in Manhattan, and it was all actors and actresses. and me. I wasn't an actor or actress. I wasn't a comic at the time. And I used to love to listen to them. And I said, what dedication. And like some of these people came from other states to give up or put all your eggs into that basket.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to be an actor. And I'm going to work my ass off bartending and doing whatever until I make it. I was always very impressed with that. You know, even though I was in college and my parents were very strict with, once you get a degree, I was an accounting major. But it was maybe that's one of the reasons I got into comedy. I don't know. But I liked that. I like to be around different people, not just the same type of person. Like, like other Met fans all the time. So is there anything
you've done a lot of
Michelle?
acting too.
Anything else you want to add?
I'm just so grateful for the time, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to come here and chat with you guys.
Of course, and we'll put it on the Facebook page, the Johnny L Facebook page, to vote for Michelle. I will kick in my $10. For sure. You're welcome, and good luck with it.
Thanks. What's going on with you guys with Laughter Saves Lives? Are you still doing first responders fundraiser?
We're just hanging out in pizzerias. There's 3 good ones around my house. And, we're going to be doing some another food drive. We're going to be doing another food drive. I'm out of the mask business. You know, we bought 4,000 of these, and got them mostly out there. Just made a delivery to Nassau County Child Protective Services and St. Albans Veterans Hospital the other day. The staff is using them down there, not the nurses. They're not allowed to use the K95s there, but the staff can. So I'm out of that. We're going to concentrate, I think, on the next few weeks on food, feeding people.
So we're not going to get masks? Because I know, like, when the FEMA trucks are coming up we could hijack one of the trucks on the Jersey Turnpike and grab some more masks.
Here we go again. Michelle, thank you.
We'll be in and out like that.
Thank you so much for having me, John.
We will talk to you soon.
Good luck.
That was Michelle McDonald. We'll go to
Michelle
commercial.
McDonald.
LifeVac and MCN Duck Cleaning. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.
Every once in a while, I come across a product I have to tell people about. LifeVac is one of them. Now, each year, 5,000 people choke to death. LifeVac can stop these senseless tragedies. It's so easy to use. You simply place, push, and pull. You'll never regret having a LifeVac. Please visit lifevac.net today to protect you and your loved ones.
Jack, put your phone away. We're having dinner.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Hi, how you doing?
What can I get you?
You guys want appetizers?
For some reason, I just got a craving for smoked meat.
Well, you ordered something already. The menu hasn't changed. You looked at it 3 times.
I don't know what I want yet.
I wanted chicken, but I think it's blackened, so I'll just have a burger.
How'd you like that cooked?
Medium.
Do you have any specials?
Specials? Boss, what are specials?
What's the matter? You don't know the specials?
Look at this smoke.
What smoke?
We gotta get these dumps clean.
Nah, they're fine.
You know what? We're just gonna take out water to go, okay?
In business since 2003, MCN Duck Cleaning is the result of many years of research and continuing education. Realizing the need to provide a safer and cleaner environment for families on Long Island, MCN services both residential and commercial properties by cleaning dryer vents, fireplaces, HVAC systems, and so much more. This not only improves air quality, but it could also reduce your energy bills by making things run more efficiently. So, if you want to make your house or business safer and cut down on your bills in the process, give our friend Matt over at MCN a call now.
Is that steak well done?
Maybe call a little bit sooner than these guys did.
And we're back with Laughter Saves Lives live. Here from my basement in Belmore and John's basement in Massapequa. I'm right next door to my Greek neighbors, but that's another story. John, you had a story to talk. You had a story you wanted to mention.
Yeah, just like your story before with the EMS guy. So I was doing the fund drive. Volunteer fire departments do fund drives.
Yes.
And if you don't pay by the second mailing, we come to your house and we ask politely, "Would you like to donate?" This woman slammed the door in my face. Not interested. So I wrote down, like we had a little thing. She wasn't interested. An hour later, we're having lunch back at the firehouse. We kick in with a rescue call. She fell down her stairs, broke her ankle. Who was the EMT standing over her? Wasn't me.
What did you do?
No, it wasn't me. No, I didn't make the truck.
Did you drop the envelope on her and say, fill us out? What did you do?
Well, wouldn't it have been better if I dropped the envelope and said, "Are you interested now?" But no, you can't do that. No, I didn't even make the truck. I said, "I'm not going to let somebody else." I didn't want her to see me there,
She would have felt guilty, you think?
Well, no, I think she would have been like, "Oh, he pushed me," I didn't pay.
The volleys, people in Long Island, the volleys are unbelievable.
We're terrific.
They're really great.
Most people, if they don't want to donate, we just say thank you, and some people can't afford it. But she was like really nasty, so I was like, hostile address.
I tell you, this stool is like flat in my ass.
What? It's a flat stool. Why don't you have a big Dr. Evil chair? You should have a big leather chair.
At the backdrop.
Look what I have. I have this big chair.
I don't see anything. I don't see it. I don't think you. But yeah.
You're the president of Laughter Saves Lives. You deserve the best.
The president of the
president, not just a member. The president. Also a member.
I was talking,
whatever that is. I don't know.
I was talking about Giovanni before. My Aunt Terry, his older sister, is in a.
Oh no! This guy's responsible for the FEMA. We were just kidding. Your friend Edward Tate's responsible for the FEMA trucks. We were kidding. We're not gonna. No. We're not hijacking the FEMA truck.
Wait, he's on this side. I'm not doing it. Santo.
I did a thing. I gotta explain this. Tony Soprano. When I said we hijacked I was governor of New Jersey. I said, "Yeah, we hijacked the FEMA truck." No, the FEMA truck got the hijack, but all of a sudden New Jersey's flooded with PPE. And it says, and then they said, "Well, Governor, the masks say FEMA." Yeah, that's Furio's Emergency Mask of America. It was a joke. No.
Do you know where Tate works? Do you know where he works?
FEMA. He just said it.
But he's got an office in the White House. In the White House.
In the what? He's got a big office in the White House.
Who's co-hosting next week? We got left. You'll be
somebody from jail.
Oh, he's off of Facebook now. He's in jail somewhere. You're going to be in jail now because you're threatening to steal.
Does he really have an office in the White House? He works for FEMA's not in the White House.
Right in the White House. You ever use the Oval Office? He has the Square office right next door. Next
to the Oval one?
Yeah, he's not in the Oval, but he's in the Square.
Do you know why they made the Oval Office oval back in Teddy Roosevelt's time?
I do.
They made it a different shape so the president could find it.
No, stop it.
No, that's not the reason. They wanted it to be surrounded. That's why Washington made a lot of oval rooms in the White House, to be surrounded by his advisors.
Is that really it? I watched some specials on the White House the other day. Very interesting things. Very interesting about secret rooms. And is there anybody on Facebook that's given us anything tonight, by the way?
Yeah, there's somebody from the FBI that wants to question me.
Holy crap. Hey,
it was a Tony Soprano bit. See, people don't watch my videos. If they watch my videos, they would have gotten that joke. But
half the people on my show, don't even know your name. So don't worry about it. Get your name out there first. So I guess Carlo's interview ran. Does Carlo know that we produce a professional show here and he was a scheduled guest? He can't just say I'm running long, can he? Can he do that? I guess he can.
Well, let's just give a shout out to the real FEMA, not Furio's Emergency Mask of America. FEMA does an excellent job. Thank you, Edward, for your service. FEMA does a great job. They, they're the first ones in after a disaster, and they're ready there with all the equipment. So, and the logistics must be mind-boggling. The logistical hurdles they have to go through.
I'm having a hard time listening to you because I don't want to cover lives over here, and I want to see laughter over my other shoulder. So as you're talking,
wait, shift to
I'm losing all focus of what you're saying and just concentrating on my body movement. Let's go, Mets. I'm ready.
I'm ready for baseball. I've been playing with my son, we have the PlayStation. That's like the only baseball I play with my little guy. But my son, he's 13. Oh no! I mean, I'm talking about but on the professional, like at Citi Field, like my son keeps pitching me inside. There's something he's not telling me how to hit the ball. My son kicks my ass every game, but I'm like, how come he can hit the inside pitches and I can't? There's a button, something I got to push to move the batter. I don't know how to do that. If anybody knows how to hit an inside pitch in MLB The Show 20, let me know. If I beat my son, I'll give you $50 cash.
This is called. We had a scheduled guest for 20 minutes, and we're filling time. So now John's talking about how to play a video game. We're at that point right now.
We're filling the time. It's better than dead air.
I don't know about that.
Can I tell you about my new skit that I'm working on?
By the way, when did you shave last?
Well, I'm filming a Miami Vice movie tomorrow, and I have to have the stubble.
Because you're looking like me, usually.
I know I should have shaved before I came on.
No zooming.
But I had to cut the lawn. I cut my own lawn. I do all my own lawn. Cut the lawn.
Excuse me.
And I have to put my I use all organics now because I have the dog. Jonathan Green Organics, highly recommended. My lawn has never looked better.
Shay's
my dog. Yes, Shea Stadium.
Dog's name. I think that may have a reference to the Mets. Do you know what child was named Shea? Whose child?
David Wright's
player was named Shea.
That guy, the Clipper Jones.
Chipper Jones. Why did he name him Shea?
Because he hit a lot of home runs there, the bastard.
Because he played so well at Citi Field as an Atlanta Brave.
No, Shea Stadium.
Yeah, well, I said Citi Field. You're right. I'm sorry. Shea Stadium in New York.
Shea Stadium.
Well, it was a good show.
This is a great show.
I want to thank. Don't say great because then you know you know what I'm saying. If it's great, then next week if it's not great, then you're gonna say great.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
No, we keep
it was a typical mediocre show.
I like when I watch like the Tonight Show and stuff like that. They always go, "Oh, we're gonna have a great show for you tonight." You can't have every night can't be a great show. Let's be realistic.
This show every night can be a great show. This is the #1 show on this time slot, on this network, on this day. There's no other show that comes close.
Every night, it was, and then we don't have to shoot too high. How was the show? It was good.
It was all right. We're the mediocre program. We're not too good, not too bad.
So thank you to Julie Conboy Russo Rodriguez Amelia III, Michelle McDonald, Carlos Bellario for standing us up. And,
well, maybe something happened. We don't want to say,
No, we love Carlo. We just busted.
We love Carlo.
You know what?
We love Carlo.
If you're not busting somebody's balls, you don't love them. Carlos.
That's right, especially firemen.
I fell asleep. I was supposed to do his show one night. He's been busting my balls for 5 years now because I overslept. So I'm allowed to bust his balls. He probably overslept. He probably did this on purpose. Wait a second, to get back to me for 5 years ago. Son of a bitch, Carlo. That's what he did.
It's like Sicilian, revenge stuff.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to Laugh to Save Lives Live. Thank you to my co-host over here,
Thank you for having me,
John Santo. I love him. Did a great job. We will see you again next week when we have one guest scheduled so far for 5 minutes. Megan Friend will fill in the rest a half hour before the show. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you for tuning in.
Old leather gloves, we're slapping in hands. Popcorn and peanuts, we're working the stands. Pink cotton candy, love on a stick. He's chasing the beer, the circle the lips. Play ball, play ball. Roll up the bases and smack it right over the wall.
Play ball.
Play ball. Take off the caps. Time for the song.